Ole Miss is facing Georgia in the second day of the SEC tournament. Now, what Ole Miss just did to Texas, wow. They went 47% to Texas's 35% field goal percentage. Now, 3-point percentage was laughable. A free throw percentage, not that big of a deal. Rebounds, 34 to 35, they about the same. Assists, they were actually worse than Texas. But here's the thing. They stole the ball 12 times to Texas only stealing it one time. Blocks are the same. Texas turned over the ball 13 times. Ole Miss only did it 3 times. They got 13 points off of turnovers alone, whereas Texas didn't get any. Fast break points. Ole Miss got 11. Texas got 6. Points in the paint. 50 to 18. Ole Miss dominated there. This was and Ole Miss led the entire time. That game showed that Ole Miss can play some ball right now. But Georgia's not doing too bad themselves. Now look, Mike Beard is slowly getting this team to where he wants to be. He made it to the NCAA's tournament last year. The year before that, made it to semifinals of the NIT. He got Florida to the round of 32 3 times and got them to an Elite Eight. Now, mind you, he had a couple of bad seasons. Got Louisiana Tech to the quarterfinals of NIT twice. And second round once. I'm looking at these two teams and I'm going, they're interesting. Now, mind you, Ole Miss made it to the Sweet 16 last year. They're not that team this year. I don't even think they'll be invited to the CBI. Ole Miss is 13 and 19, 4 and 14 in SEC play. Georgia is 22 and 9, 10 and 8 in SEC play. Now, when they played earlier on in the season, Ole Miss beat Georgia in a slugfest by 2 points. 95-97. This is going to be a pretty darn good game because Ole Miss is going to try to do what they did earlier on in the season. But I don't think they're going to be able to do it. Georgia's not quite got the defense, but they do have an offense. This is going to be a good game. So we're going to cover it by the numbers. We're going to see who can win this game. And we're going to see if we can predict this game by the numbers, as I always do. So stick around. Let's do this. Before we get into the crux of this video, hit like, hit subscribe if you like college sports, because I do college sports, primarily college football, college women's gymnastics, do a little basketball, and other sports on occasion, but that's what I do, college. Also, General Robert Neyland, former University of Tennessee head football coach for decades, had 7 maxims to win any game, but they can also help you if you apply them correctly to your life. The second one is play for and make the breaks. When one comes your way, score. That is a maxim that can be also applied to your life. Look for those breaks and take it. Now, Ole Miss, since they're the lower seed, we're going to start with them. 75.3 points is what they score a game. They allow 75.6 points a game. 44.2 field goal percentage. 75.1 free throw percentage. 33 3-point percentage. 7.2 3-points made a game. 13.9 assists. They aren't working as a team, but they did decent against Texas. 30.2 defensive rebounds a game. Not a real good number there. 9.1 turnovers. They're really good at not turning the ball over, but they're not playing. Sometimes they play selfish ball. 4.2 block shots a game. That's a decent but not good number. They steal the ball 7 times a game, which, you heard what their stats were in the last game. AJ Store, 15 points a game. Or he leads in points. In there, 26.4 minutes, 3.2 rebounds, 2 assists, zero point 0.9 steals, 0.1 blocks, 1.4 turnovers, 43.9 field goal percentage, 35.8 3-point percentage, and 76.4 free throw percentage. Malik Dia leads in rebounds, 23.9 minutes, 14.1 points, 5.8 rebounds, zero point 0.8 assists, 0.6 steals, 0.9 blocks, 1.6 turnovers, 44.9 field goal percentage, 25.4 3-point percentage, and 69.6 free throw percentage. Ilias Kamardine, who leads in assists and steals, 30.9 points, or 30.9 minutes, pardon me, 11 points, 3.3 rebounds, 3.8 assists, 1.2 steals, 0.4 blocks, 1.9 turnovers, 41.9 field goal percentage, 29.3 3-point percentage, and 76.8 free throw percentage. Patton Pinkin, 24.7 minutes, 9.4 points, 1.9 rebounds, 0.9 assists, 0.4 steals, 0.1 blocks, 0.3 turnovers, 47.1 field goal percentage, 42.6 3-point percentage, and 86.4 free throw percentage. So, you should be getting Patton Pinkin the ball a lot more than you're doing. And him only being in there the amount of minutes that he is kind of laughable. You've got your top 3 players shooting decently in field goal range, but I'm looking at this. You're relying on AJ Store. He's okay on the 3-point. Field goal range, he is really okay. That's all he is okay. Doing decent in rebounds with a couple of players, but not so much with most of the other players. Your steals are what they are. Your leading blocker is James Scott at 1.1. You need to block more. But that game plan that you just had against Texas, you put up a defense. You scored in field goal range when you needed to score. That's the kind of game plan that you got to have against Georgia. You beat them once, you got to go in there with some oomph to you. But they're probably going to be a little tired in this game. Now, Bulldogs score on average 90.4 points a game. They allow 79.3. Now that is worse than Ole Miss. 47.5 field goal percentage, 75.9 free throw percentage, 34.5 3-point percentage. They make 9.8 3-points a game, 15 assists. They do a little bit better than Ole Miss, but they still need to work better as a team. 35 defensive rebounds, that's a good number. Turn over the ball 10.3 times a game. Could be a little bit better, but they're first in the nation in block shots. 6.2 block shots, 8.3 steals a game. Now, Jeremiah Wilkinson, who leads in point and steals, 25.7 minutes, 17.3 points, 2.1 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 1.7 steals, 0.3 blocks, 1.4 turnovers, 41.4 field goal percentage, 35.7 3-point percentage, and 78.3 free throw percentage. Blue Kane, 28.1 minutes, 13.6 points, 5.1 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 1.4 steals, 0.2 blocks, 1 turnover, 47.9 field goal percentage, 31.2 3-point percentage, and 90.5 free throw percentage. Marcus Melander, who leads in assists, 25.9 minutes, 12 points, 2.7 rebounds, 4 assists, 0.9 steals, no blocks, 1.7 turnovers, 46 field goal percentage and 40% 3-point percentage. Cannon catchings, Lee, 23.3 minutes, 11.7 points, 4.7 rebounds, 1.2 assists, zero point 0.7 steals, zero point 0.4 blocks, 1.1 turnovers, 43.8 field goal percentage, 38.6 3-point percentage, and 65.6 free throw percentage. Now, their center, some, some Coach Kulu Cyril leads in rebounds and blocks. 5.6 rebounds, 2.4 blocks. Now, this team does really good at blocking the ball. They do good at stealing. They're not bad when it comes to not turning the ball over. Probably need to have Jeremiah Wilkinson get the ball out to somebody like Lou Kane or even Sorrell because he's at like 76.1 field goal percentage. Okay, Wilkinson does good in the 3-point range, but so does Melander. So does Catchings. Maybe play a little bit smarter ball with your leading scorers. You need to focus on keeping that defense going. You need to do defense in this game. You already proven that you can shoot. Get the ball to the right people at the right times and do your regular job. But work on defense in this game. That defense is going to be key in this game. You saw what Ole Miss was able to do against Texas yesterday. Ole Miss should not have been able to beat Texas, but they did. This is a game that you've got to work on your defense. Your defense is going to be key, and you've got to not turn the ball over. They don't do it normally, so keep that part up. Do what you need to do defensively and not turn the ball over. Those are the two keys for Georgia. Now, Ole Miss has already shown that they can compete with better teams. I'm sure that Chris Beard would have preferred his team to perform like they did yesterday against everybody. They didn't. This is, they've got to be able to do that. Georgia, on the other hand, has been doing nothing but improving under Mike White. I'm looking at what I'm seeing. Georgia is primed right now. They just came off, their last games, they beat Mississippi State 102-96. They beat Alabama 98-88. South Carolina 87-68. Okay, Vandy beat them 88-80. And they beat Texas 91-80. This is a game in which Georgia's just got to be what Georgia became. I'm saying go Dogs on this game. They should be able to win this game no problem. They've got to play their normal game with some defense thrown in. Seriously. You can't let Ole Miss take the ball. You can't allow turnovers. And you've got to play some defense. Those are where Georgia is going to win it at. They can score. No problem with them being able to score. Now, they got to buckle down for this game. They're pretty much guaranteed a slot in the NCAA tournament. I mean, they've got 22 wins. They're 22-9. Of course, they've got a shot, or they're probably going to the NCAAs. This is a game where they've got to they've got to knuckle down hardcore. They can't allow what happened in the first meetup this season to happen again. But, like I said, go Dogs on this one because I can guarantee you that Chris Beard and Mike White coaching up against each other, I'd rather like what I'm seeing with Mike White. This has been Paul with the Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. Hey, folks, before you leave, if you're can't become a member via my YouTube channel, which that's for my thinker. I've also got sports. I've got a Patreon. If you really, really want to help me out, I would be much appreciated. But hey, hitting like, hit subscribe, hit commenting, all those things really help me out. Have a good day.